So Colin, could you tell us a bit about what the first few days were like on the gun towers and getting there?
Well, it was a fantastic time, as you can believe. I was 24 years of age, only a youngster really, and we sailed out of Whitstable Harbour and we got out into the Thames estuary because we had no intention of going to any gun towers because we didn't know about them at the time. But when we got about 8 miles out of Whitstable, we spied these massive great gun towers. They were stood on these great big legs, and we said to the guy in the boat, Fred Downs, we said, "What are those, Fred?" And he said, this Fred Downs, by the way, was the chap who looked after us for some years. He fetched our supplies to the gun towers. Lovely man. He died actually. He fell in the harbour at Whitstable and drowned, but that's not funny. But yeah, we said to him, "What are those massive great things there, Fred?" And he said, "They're the gun towers." He said, "Gun towers?" He said, "Yes." He said, "They was used for the Akat guns in the war," he said, "to stop the German planes coming up the Thames estuary." So we said, "Oh right, let's go and have a look at them then, Fred." So Fred sailed the boat over to these gun towers, and as we got there we saw this ladder was hanging down. So we, in for a penny, in for a pound, we climbed up the ladder, and we got onto these gun towers, and we were amazed, absolutely amazed. We couldn't believe our eyes. There was room after room after room. There was catwalks going all over the place because these gun towers were built in a big circle, and there was like one there, one there, one there, one there, and one in the centre. About 5, I seem to remember, in these blocks. And they all had these catwalks, and you could get from one to the other. Anyway, when we got on there, we saw that there was these great big water tanks where the soldiers had the fresh water delivered there, but of course there was nothing there then. It was a case of just get on with it, so we did. We looked all round. We sent Fred back to shore with Reg Calvert, and Reg came back with a load of old equipment. You've never seen anything like it in all your life. It was a proper Heath Robinson do, and we set up this radio station. We had one turntable, one microphone, one tiny transmitter, a couple of old generators, and about 50 12-volt batteries, and that was Radio Sutch. And that with the ingenuity of Reg Calvert, reached all along the south coast of England, and Radio Sutch was in business. David Sutch, myself, Brian Paul, dear old Brian, who's dead now, he died in a swimming accident. They all seem to die in the sea. Got to be something to be doing with an old pirate, I should think. But anyway, we were all highly delighted, and that's how Radio Sutch started, and we just got on with it. And as the weeks went on, of course, we got better and better at doing the job. But I tell you, I'll make you laugh. If we ever wanted to go to the toilet or have a meal, we used to have to put an LP record on, because the stuff was nothing like it is today. But we'd put this LP record on, and we'd be able to whip down and have a wee or whatever. It was quite hilarious, really. Marvellous days. Long remembered. How's that?
So Colin, what about the music? What was the sort of stuff that you were playing?
Oh, the music. We got Cliff Richard, Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, of course, the King. We'd got Cilla Black and people like that. We got some of the big American icons, the big women singers, and marvellous stuff from America. Most of the good stuff did come from America at that time, because you've got to remember the Beatles hadn't even been invented then, and we had some fabulous stuff on there. But we used to have to keep repeating ourselves all the time, because don't forget, we'd start the station about 12 o'clock midday. We'd start pushing out the music about 12 midday, and then we'd finish at 12 midnight. And I used to do 5 stints a day. I used to do a 2-hour show with Reg and David Sutch, and I used to do another 2-hour show with Pussy Mew, Jeff Mew. We called him Pussy because his name was Mew, and Brian Paul. And then I did 3 shows on my own of an hour each. So you can imagine, it was like you had to chat for England. Oh, wonderful days.
And did you ever do any phone-ins or have people visit you on the gun towers?
Oh yes, we had many a visitor. I was most interested in this new film that's come out, The Boat That's Rocked, or The Boat That Rocked. In Canada and America they call it Pirate Radio. This film, they changed the name, but these guys that were on Radio Caroline and Radio London, they said they never had any fun. Well, I can tell you now, Radio Sutch had wonderful moments. The girls were queuing up to get out there, and believe you and me, some of them did slip aboard the boat and get out there, but that's another story. I won't go into that in too much detail. Those girls might still be alive today, and we mustn't talk about naughties, must we?
So it's 45 years, Colin, since we last heard you on the radio station. So what sort of got you into this again, and how's it going? And where can we find out more about you?
Well, I was talking to somebody that I met in Abergele in North Wales, and a young chap, and got a bit of brain, you know, not like some of them today. They all seem a bit brain dead. But I was talking to this young chap, and I said to him, I'd love to have a website on this here computer. I said, now what you've got to remember about this is that I've only had a computer for 6 months, and to me it's like, well, you wouldn't believe. I mean, I'm just not used to it. I'm getting used to it, but this young guy, Tiny Tim, he helped me out. He said he'd come and do a website for me. So I thought that would be great, and he came along and he set this website up, Radio Sutch, Colin Radio Sutch, and we got it going. We put lots of old photos on there and stuff that I'd kept from my past, newspaper cuttings and things like that. And it was while we were doing this that he suddenly said to me, do you know what, he said, you've had an interesting life, he said, you should really try and do a radio station again. And I went, that's a good idea. Wouldn't mind bringing Radio Sutch back after all these years. That'd put one up the government, wouldn't it? Especially Mr Wilson and Mr Ben, the two idiot MPs who I hate, who stuffed pirate radio in the 60s. So anyway, that's where it began. Tiny Tim said to me we could make a nice little radio station, and I thought, well, why not? And so that's what we did, and we've now set all this lovely modern equipment up, which is so easy to use, and here we are. And if you want to get hold of us and listen to our music, just go to www.live365.com/stations/Colin Radio Sutch.